Don't laze me.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Dr. Sridhar Prathikanti. Many of you have probably met me in the Bay Area. I'm an angel investor, not any big-time investor. There's some real whales and sharks around here. I hope I'm not the latter. I've probably invested about $750,000 in 10 years. Not a lot. What I do when I invest is I used to look for the amazing, genius idea. But what I found is that's a failure because the management of the company will make or break it. It's not the amazing genius product. It's the management. You can't control it and what happens. So with that, I really loved the last presentation, Rex Cloud. This is the Rex Cloud of B2B, okay? This is a platform for immersive healthcare. And as you can see, we're using virtual reality. The tipping point for mass adoption. There was internet all over the place. And people use internet on their desktops and at home and whatnot. But the real tipping point happened in 2007 when Jobs, when Steve Jobs launched the iPhone. Then we went from desktop 100% down to 48%. We got the convergence of mobile internet going. And we are very close to another tipping point, and that is for virtual reality and augmented reality. It's been so overblown, and like every peak and trough, you have all the hype, everything gets overvalued, goes crazy, and then you have a complete crash. And then the real people come out of the woodwork, and then you get real valuations. And that's what's going on basically here. Right now, we are at $4.7 billion, and this is for GDP, okay? This is not numbers we made up. PricewaterhouseCoopers came up with this, and Accenture came up with this. And right now today, healthcare is $350 billion. We are saying in just 5 short years, it's going to be $476 billion in GDP growth boost just by VR. And that's really going on right now. If any of you went to the CES, Consumer Electronics Show, you saw the Oculus Quest had a whole lot of modifying features there. Qualcomm just came out and said, we know microchips. We are going to put a microchip onto AR, VR. That's huge, a very powerful microchip. That lets a lot more resolution and a lot more things happen. It's almost like what Apple did when they started out with the iPhone in 2007. So far, the experiences are being created by companies and universities around the world. They just right now do very simple things. They do counseling of patients. They do rehab in physiology, physiotherapy. They educate and train staff. They prepare med students. They train doctors like OSO VR and all these other really cutting edge things that are coming out now. They provide for collaboration. Many more will be created, but if you ever gone to the Google Play Store and the Apple iStore, it's a mess. There's absolutely no organization for the apps. And for virtual reality, it is a complete disaster. So right now, the developers are stuck in silos. There's no visibility, no distribution. And the healthcare providers, such as myself and other people in this audience, there's really no way to access these virtual reality programs. You think you could just go to some iStore or whatever, Google Play Store. You can't. And you don't even know what it's on. So by some miracle of miracles, some VR, AR person comes to your hospital, tells you this. God knows what you're even looking at or buying. So nothing moves forward in this industry. Okay, this is what 360 Health Cloud is all about. We are basically doing, if you want to do education, if you want to do training for doctors, if you want to do treatment, if you want to do intelligent cloud analytics, that's what we are. We basically arm people with the picks and shovels. as you remember from the gold rush here in the United States, over $400 billion was mined in gold in the 1840s to now. But you all know that the real beneficiaries of that were Levi Strauss. The real beneficiaries of that was Sears and Roebuck, who sent out things all over the country for people to, they contributed and got the most of the GDP, not like the few people that struck gold, okay? The business model is very simple. We set up an app store. We have revenue sharing for advertising plus the sales. We only get 5 cents for each app. But the key thing is we have developer tools, okay? We have deployment because it is so hard to deploy this. And we have created a tablet, okay? And this is an upgrade fee for electronic medical records if people want to put that in there. And we do some revenue sharing for training. Again, this is just more of the training and collaboration. We can skip that. The founders, Raghu Bathina, he sold his first company, Ramp Networks, to Nokia for $130 million. I wish I had something really fancy out there too, right? Like I sold millions and billions. But he's a serial entrepreneur. And I'm just a seasoned investor, psychiatrist, virtual reality person. I was the first person to use virtual reality in the VA 15 years ago. I really understand it. Went to the Office of Tech Transfer. And that's basically it. I want to thank you very much. This is a basic company. It is the picks and shovels. So this is a very safe bet. We've raised $600,000. We are trying to raise $400,000 more for a valuation of $10 million.
You can hold that. We're going to do a couple of questions. Question?
I have a quick question for you. It does look like a marketplace for VR, AR apps, and also centralization of using them in a healthcare system, which is also very challenging for the healthcare systems. My question is, a lot of really robust solutions are being built, but they're going to be in proprietary software. So why would they choose to come to your platform?
Right now, they do have a lot of proprietary technology, and their app will be sold through this platform, just like Google Play, just like Apple iStore. Their products will be sold through there. Our way that we're going to return investment to our people is through simple advertisements and like 5 cents from each purchase through the portal. That's it. They can sell their product for $500 or $5. It's irrelevant to us.
Who are your current customers, and which customer segment are you going to focus on first?
So the name of the game with all of this is simply you want as much web traffic as humanly possible. You want to return on investment of a 10x immediately to your investors. You want to be sold for $100 million. You want to be bought up by Google, Facebook, et cetera. So right now, the partner that we're negotiating with, this partner has 500,000 hits a month in their VR space, on their VR site. And so we're in partnership with them, and we hope to either acquire them or join partnership with them. So that's really, that's how we're doing it. It's not like you need partnerships or this or that. You need to have a lot of web traffic, and this person is already being eyed. This company's already being eyed for acquisition by Facebook because they're doing a lot of things. So if you ever know here in Silicon Valley, the really rich people here, all they do is they go to Microsoft, Google, Facebook, and they find out what they need that's going to be built in that industry. They leave Google, they leave Facebook, they create this product, and then they get bought out by Google, Facebook for $100 million. It's just a similar strategy. It's not rocket science. You are just building what the community needs, and you give it to them, and it's a service to the community. You're not trying to make a lot of money off of this, but the return on investment for an investor is fantastic. When you look at what Google and Facebook buy all the time for $2.2 billion, pretty ridiculous. And we're not going for anything like that. We're just looking for a simple 10x return in 24 months for our investors.
Great. Thank you so much. Great presentation.